I'm going to teach you how to stockpile a lot of food for a possible emergency. And I'll also show you my underground shelter and give you some tips on how you can store all this food. So go ahead and like the video and come check out this content because it's amazing. Welcome to another survival guide. Today I'm going to teach you how to store food for at least 5 years. So in case there's a war, an apocalypse, an invasion, zombies, aliens, or anything like that, right? You'll be prepared. You won't have to depend on the supermarket system or a bakery. You'll be self-sufficient and have your food stocked at home. All right? How are we going to do this, guys? First of all, what are we going to use here? I'm going to teach you how to do it with rice, but you can use other non-perishable grains like beans or lentils. You can do it with coffee. You can do it with pasta too, okay? Pasta works just fine. And basically, it's the same process for everything, only a few things change, just some details. And that's what we're going to teach today. How does the process work? We're going to be using a polyethylene terephthalate bottle here, okay? Why a polyethylene terephthalate bottle? Because it's an environment here that we can seal very well. I'll show you how later, okay? So polyethylene terephthalate bottle, all right? This one is actually a soda bottle, well cleaned. You're going to wash it with water and soap, all right? The cap too, you wash it with water and soap, all right? You'll also need the grain you want to store. In my case, I'm going to use rice. And now comes the trick, all right? There are some natural preservatives, for example, garlic, okay? Garlic is an excellent natural preservative. Why? Because it prevents the proliferation of bacteria. That's why garlic, right? If you eat it this way, right? It's like, what's the name? Vermifuge, right? So you can take a clove of garlic and eat it every day. And that will help you keep things under control, right? It helps with worms, bacteria, and keeps your gut more regulated, okay? Garlic is an excellent food. Bay leaf, okay? It's the little leaf. Everyone knows it. Here, look, I paid 4 reais for this little package. Garlic is also cheap. I think it's 30 reais per kilo. So 1 kilo of garlic. My God, that's a huge bag. We're only going to use 2 cloves here in this bottle, okay? What else are we going to need? A funnel, okay? The funnel to help out. And then you'd be putting the rice inside the bottle without much trouble, okay? So you're going to place the funnel here on the bottle. Remember, the bottle should be sanitized. If you want to put a little bit of alcohol on your hands here, that's good, okay? You can even spray some on the mouth of the bottle inside here just to make it a bit better, right? To kill bugs and bacteria and fully sanitize it, right? All right, guys, so you're going to grab your grain here. In my case, I'm going to use rice. Let's open it. The video is mostly uncut, okay? Look, are you going to put a little bit here? About 2 or 3 fingers of rice, okay? So look, about this much, okay? A little bit more still. It doesn't have to be, oh wow, it has to be exactly 3.7 centimeters. No, man, it's about this much. Look, 3 fingers. Okay, that's it. What are you going to do? You're going to take a clove of garlic and drop it into the bottle. No. With the skin and everything, okay? With the skin and everything. Just throw it into the bottle. And that's it. You repeat the process, add 3 more fingers of rice, and drop in another clove of garlic. Or a bay leaf. I like to use both, okay? In fact, look, bay leaf, let's go. Throw it in here. All right, 1 clove of garlic and a bay leaf. Let's add more rice. Added more rice. Look how easy it is, guys. Look how easy it is. Add the rice, guys. It usually has a standard shelf life, generally about a year after the manufacturing date. Because of the packaging, okay? Because of the packaging. With this method, using the bottle, you add a few more years of shelf life to your food. So, inside the bottle, it will last at least 5 years, at least, okay? If you also store it somewhere dark and with low humidity, it can last even longer. 6, 7, 8, up to 10 years. You can start giving it a few taps. The rice compacts at the bottle's bottom, okay? Why? You remove the oxygen from the container so the grains, they settle in, right? the oxygen rises, and the less oxygen in the bottle, the longer your food will last, right? Oxygen, it even oxidizes our cells. That's why we age, because we breathe oxygen, and it's the oxygen that's responsible for oxidizing our cells. Iron, for example, rusts because of oxygen. If there was no oxygen, it wouldn't rust. Anyway, it's what spoils our food, but it's also what keeps us alive, right? So, it's the perfect balance, right, of life. Guys, all right, let's stop with the philosophy talk. Look, pack it down, press it well, okay? Press it well, add one more garlic. I don't skimp on garlic, okay, guys, or bay leaf either. My goal is to store this here long term, right? For those who don't know, I have an underground bunker, and we're actually going to take this food there later, okay? I filled the bottle, okay? I filled the bottle. Can you see it? It's full. Now, here's the trick, because even though it's full, look how much this rice will settle after I tap it here. You can even press it down with your finger. Look, it was full, and now there's space for about 3 more fingers again. So all of that is air that's inside the bottle, okay, guys? 2 objects can't share the same space, right? This is interesting, okay? The more packed it is, the better. See, the bottle is so packed that it's actually hard. Look, I squeeze it here and it doesn't dent. Ah, look, it went down another inch. You're crazy, man. That's what we want, okay? After you made sure that the stuff is really packed tight, look, it's hard. It's like a rock. What are you going to do? Close your bottle, okay? Put the cap on here. Tighten it well. All right? There you go. See, it's hard. Get some electrical tape. Some people use other methods, okay? There are several preservation methods. Some people use cotton with fire, right? What's the cotton for with fire? You're gonna take the electrical tape and seal the thread here, okay, guys? Wrap it around 5 to 10 times so it's really well sealed, guys. Some people put a piece of cotton with fire, light it, and cover it. What is that for? It's to remove the oxygen from the bottle. But since we packed the bottle really well, right? We squeezed. There's no need for the cotton. If you don't pack it tightly, you'll have to do it repeatedly, which is annoying. Put cotton inside, light it, and close the bottle. The fire uses up the oxygen inside. And it becomes a vacuum environment, which is the same environment that's here, okay? So there are 2 methods that end up the same in the end, okay? Look, it's going to be like this, really sealed inside here. So we have an environment. It's nearly a vacuum, right? So there's very little oxygen. And remember, oxygen is what spoils things, right? It oxidizes. And we still have several bactericides, dewormers, natural preservatives in general, both bay leaf and garlic. And you can also use salt, okay? Salt as a complement, all right? For example, add garlic and salt or bay leaf and salt. The interesting thing about salt is that when you use this rice, it will already be seasoned, okay? So I add it, actually, I mix it up, okay? I'm doing several tests. This one, for example, let me show you. I made some bottles yesterday, guys. We're taking them to the bunker, right? So we have several bottles. For example, the one I made yesterday, I used salt. See, I'll show you. Look, this one I made today, and this one I made yesterday. See that there's a white powder? Can you see it? There's a white powder. That's salt, okay? Salt preserves and seasons your food. Okay, look, guys, just so you understand, here's the salt I mentioned to you. In this case, we're using coarse salt, right? See? Show it here. We added salt to the pasta, see? You can't make pasta without it. Look, do you see those white spaces there with air? You can't fully fill it with pasta, right? Throw the salt in here. Look, at least it seals this part of the lid well, see? All right, I'm going to put a little in the beans too. Salt is cool because it's already seasoned. So even though it doesn't make much difference, see? Even though it's a preservative too, right? It already seasons it. If there's a little bit of moisture, it also absorbs the moisture. It's interesting. Well guys, look, we're almost done. We've already done more than half. See, we got a big box full over there. There are a few more bags of rice here for us to do. Let's finish up. Like I said, guys, it's all standard. The beans, same thing. See, garlic and bay leaf. The only difference is the pasta is a bit different, okay? Because you can't compact it 100%. So there will be some spaces, see? Empty, right? It's the same thing. Garlic, salt, bay leaf. Just compact it as much as possible. See these small grains? Beans. Look, the bottle is tough. And rice here, awesome. And seal it well, man. And that's it. There's no secret, okay? 50 kilos of food. We made rice, beans, and pasta. So beans, pasta, rice. All in the same way. Garlic, bay leaf, salt. There's not much fuss, really, right? Isn't there?
No, it's because everything is falling here, man.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, we're already arriving at our shelter, right? Dog Zone has the cargo. Some animals are in the woods. For those who don't know, we're building this shelter here. It's all made of concrete and iron, and it's buried right here. Look, it's underground here. Look, I'll show you now. Check this out. It's not finished yet, okay, guys? So I'm asking you, there are still some things that aren't ready yet, right? Like the door, some details, but little by little, we'll get it done, okay? Right? It's going to look awesome. Look at that, 50 kilos of food. We brought it and we're going to open the bunker. Be careful, you can't leave from there. Check it out. The big bunker, all made of concrete and iron. In here, guys, right, we have a really good temperature, okay? We're always inside. It's around 17 degrees, regardless of the outside temperature out here. So we came into the bunker, right?
Yeah.
Let me show you guys. Put it on 05 there so everyone can see it clearly. I'll start from the beginning so you can see. So we have the entrance, which is where we were up there, right? Here we have a room, let's say, where we're going to set up a small wood stove here, right? Look, we already have a sofa, but we're going to make and set up a bunk bed, right? Everything will be welded, so we're going to make an awesome bunk bed here, right? And here's the storage area of our bunker, look, where we've already started stocking up. The shelves, we made some shelves here. Look, they're made of iron, okay? To hold a lot of weight. And we made them really wide so they would actually fit here, see? You can fit 2 polyethylene terephthalate bottles lying down, okay? So this is going to be really useful for us because these big jugs also fit here, see? Our main problem here, actually the only problem that's going to be a bit of an issue, is the humidity. Since we're in a very closed environment, there's not much air circulation, so it's a really humid place, okay? How do we solve this? Let's go into detail. We have here, look, this container. It's a container for transporting olives, so it comes with extra sealing here and here. We're going to store the polyethylene terephthalate bottles that are already sealed, right? So there's already some protection here. So when we put them inside here, right, we're going to fill this whole container with bottles and then we'll seal it here. So here we have double protection for our food. In this state here, I guarantee you that we'll have more than 5 years of preservation, right? So we just put here, if you have years, it makes it easier. A, Zanotto. Guys, there's more than 5 years of preservation in here, okay? So this was the technique we came up with. Everyone makes do with what they have, right guys? Some people won't have a bunker, but they'll have a wardrobe, a basement, or a little storage room, right? With an extra shelf, there will be some space. Everyone has a spare space at home, a space they don't use. It could be under the bed to make your stockpile, okay? So it's very important that you have this here. Look, this right here. Do you know how many kilos of food are here? 100 kilos of food. For one person? One person. Let's suppose that in the apocalypse, I eat 1 kilo per day, eating well, 1 kilo per day. That's already enough for 100 days of survival. So that's 3 months, okay? So if you want to have some kind of advantage during a potential war, apocalypse, or future pandemic, yes, if you don't want to get screwed, you need to have at least 100 kilos of food stocked up, which is this right here, see? It fits under the bed, no problem. It fits, man. It fits anywhere. Let's be honest, right? So that's it, guys. And it wasn't expensive. 50 kilos cost 160 reais. So that's it, guys. In the next video, I'll bring you more information about our bunker. We're going to do it too. I'm going to teach you how to store meat, okay? Meat for 5 years too. That's really cool. So in the next video, we're going to teach you how to store meat. So man, go ahead and follow me. If you're watching, leave a big like, share it with a friend of yours, okay? Maybe you have a friend who enjoys this too. You could do it together. It's really cool. All right, guys, that's it. Leave a like, share, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.